One of the biggest events of the school year hits Skyview High School, weLearn Technology Showcase.
If the kids don't have technology now, they're going to be lost when they get out in the business world.
See what's new in the classroom, and from seedling to harvest.
It's kind of makes me feel a little happy because it's just like, okay, sweet, they're really big now.
How Columbia River students are growing more than just vegetables. Plus, a turn in the spotlight for VPS students, their opportunity to perform Shakespeare in front of a whole new audience. Hundreds of parents, teachers, students, and community members explore technology in the classroom at weLearn Technology Showcase. Hello and welcome to In the Know. I'm Chad Young. This was the second year for the weLearn event, and as Colleen Nelson reports, it was even larger this time around.
Well, it's bigger, it's better.
That's Vancouver Public Schools Superintendent Dr. Steve Webb describing the 2011 weLearn Technology Showcase held at Skyview High School. In more than 50 exhibits, teachers and students demonstrated how they're using iPods, iPads, laptops, software, even robots to prepare for careers.
We want to make strategic investments that really get at the kind of transformative experiences for kids that really positively impact student learning in profound ways.
That commitment to learning is music to the ears of Mark Ray, a teacher librarian at Skyview.
There's a lot of things that students need to know to be able to be successful. Things like digital citizenship, the ability to separate fact from fiction, the ability to collaborate online and work with other people using digital networks. All of these things have less to do with the devices and more to do with the way that students think and work and collaborate.
The results of that learning and collaborating were on display at the event. Spectators saw software that helps monitor salmon populations, how students use multimedia production to boost communication skills, and a bevy of handheld devices that personalize learning.
So if you spend any time out in these booths with kids, you get a real sense that kids are absolutely thrilled and motivated to have access to these kinds of resources.
And we want to thank everyone here at Skyview High School for making this event such an overwhelming success, showing how technology can make such a huge difference in everyday learning right in the classroom. For In the Know, I'm Colleen Nelson.
Here are a few more of the technologies on display at weLearn. Students from Hudson's Bay ACES program demonstrated their wastewater treatment process. The Pro Lo Quo To Go booth showed how special needs students are using iPads to improve communication with teachers. Students from Skyview High School showed off the game they created in their video game programming class, and robotics students from several schools showed off the engineering skills they're learning in class. Plus, several vendors had displays to show parents the kind of options they have at home. The official head count at the door for the night was 460 people. If you count all of the teachers and students who helped with presentations, that number rises to more than 700. As Nick Vole reports, there was a real buzz in the air.
The aisles at the 2011 weLearn Technology Showcase were a tight squeeze, with hundreds of people packed in, checking out the latest in educational technology. As parents walk through the event and see all the different exhibits, I think one of the more common things we're hearing tonight is surprise at how technology and the classroom have changed over the last few years.
Just the fact that there's so many new ways to learn now. Completely different from the way I learned.
They didn't have digital when I was in school. So, yeah, the way they've stepped up to the plate and brought in some of the latest and greatest stuff.
In the library upstairs, parents gathered to hear presentations on the district's new math curriculum and on how to protect their kids online. In downstairs classrooms, teachers came together to learn from other educators on how to implement new technology in their lesson plans. They told us they're doing it for their students.
I want to be able to present to my students what is out there, what they can do, how they can better themselves.
So they can have better skills when they go out into the workforce, technology-wise.
Some students are already leading the way, showing the adult spectators how it's done. Student-led demonstrations, such as video production.
This is Thomas reporting for Sacagawea Elementary School.
point-of-sale marketing, and wind turbines left the adults free to stand back and enjoy.
Where you get the idea? I get the idea of that.
We had absolutely no idea that this was as big as it is or as exciting as it is, or, I mean, we're just bowled over, really.
For In the Know, I'm Nick Bohl.
An event of this scale took months of planning and hours of setup. Student reporter Dakota Wixom has more.
In just a few hours, the Commons at Skyview High School went from this to this.
And so it's really a coordinated effort that takes quite a while to get going.
Since it was a school day, getting the Commons ready for the 2011 weLearn Technology Showcase was tricky.
Well, we have to work very closely with the school to make sure that as soon as lunch is over at 11:30, all the students are out, and then the custodians come in and get everything out, and then about a half hour later they've got the floors cleaned and we start bringing everything in.
After the pipes and drapes go up to form the booths, the information technology team makes sure each display is wired for power and the internet before teachers bring in their equipment.
Everything is all set up. I'm really impressed. Things are going really well. People are setting up right now.
We're bringing in the magnetic levitation track, and so some of that is going to be interesting, figuring out where I'm going to put it in my booth. But that's what it's about. Just got to make sure everything fits and all the kids show up, and then it's a success.
As you can see, they're almost finished setting up here. They started about 6 hours ago, but really the planning for this event has been months in the making.
The first weLearn showcase in 2010 was planned in just 2 months. This year, district administrators spent 9 months, carefully bringing together teachers, students, and vendors to create a comprehensive learning opportunity. Those involved told us the planning paid off.
Compared to a lot of the other districts in the area, in Washington and in Oregon, I think Vancouver is head and shoulders above many districts and will continue to do so.
For In the Know, I'm Dakota Wixom.
Thanks, Dakota. The Vancouver Public Schools TV studio is working on a half-hour-long special from the event. Go in depth at several of the displays to get a better idea of how this classroom technology helps students every day. Join me, Colleen Nelson, Nick Vohl, and 2 student reporters as we take a tour of weLearn. Check the schedule for Comcast Channel 28 and 29 for showtimes. The show will also be available on the district YouTube channel, youtube.com/VanSDTV. One of the most important elements of this year's weLearn event was a class for parents on the district's new math curriculum. Using technology and high-quality instruction, teachers are making it easier for students to get the material. And as Helen Raptis reports, it will also be easier for mom and dad to help at home.
Here we go, number 2, come on up for color and shape.
Students in this Hazeldale Elementary classroom are learning numbers as they tend to their class calendar.
Every lesson begins with something called a learning bridge, which is a way of introducing to the children what the new math content will be.
That learning bridge is part of Vancouver Public Schools' new math curriculum. It's designed to help students, teachers, and parents eliminate the clutter and move away from rote memorization.
You know, it's really important that our students not just learn to compute quickly, that they understand how to apply their math skills. I'm learning this math, and I'm learning this math because it's going to help me solve these kinds of real-life problems and situations.
There are 2 programs, one for elementary schools and one for middle and high schools. The programs give teachers clear standards so their prep time is spent improving their presentation, not searching for materials.
So I think it's given us focus and consistency.
Plus, teachers are supporting each other as they learn the new curriculum, meeting about once a month for training.
Does that make sense?
For parents and kids, one of the most exciting changes is the use of the internet. Every textbook students use is available online.
It's no longer necessary to carry a textbook back and forth to school. And one of the things I'm most excited about is that both programs include tutorials by master teachers that are digital, so that if I want to go home and hear the lesson again, I can actually see it taught by a master teacher.
Those online tutorials give parents a chance to help students in a whole new way.
We can both watch it together and talk about what we see the teacher presenting to us. So that's something that we've never been able to offer before.
For In the Know, I'm Helen Raptis.
Once they have the login information, everything is available on the Parent Access section of the school district's website. Once you're there, you can also get a bunch of other information, such as attendance, lunch payments, and academic progress. Horticulture students at Columbia River brave the elements to harvest their crop. They're discovering not only the joy of gardening, but of helping other people too.
I think it was a pretty big success.
Something important is growing at the WSU Heritage Farm in Vancouver. Carrots, squash, pumpkins, and a sense of community.
It's mainly going to the food bank to help out homeless and people that don't have the money to go out and buy their own food.
In a partnership with the local food bank, horticulture students at Columbia River are growing vegetables to fill pantry shelves. They've been nurturing their crops since the spring, when they laid down irrigation lines and planted seeds. Now, it's time to harvest. It's dirty work, but nobody seems to mind.
So to come back and see like all of the big pumpkins and the squash and all, it was really cool.
And to see how excited the kids are to actually be here and harvesting things that they grew, it's pretty awesome. And this is really the fruits of our labor, harvesting. So for them to see that entire process and see that it ends with food was really, really rewarding for them and, of course, for me.
Teacher Amanda Ronstadt worked with the food bank to choose the right vegetables.
And the whole idea of the winter squash is that they can keep all season, all the way until spring. So I think that they'll be getting distributed to people's homes like periodically throughout the year.
It seems the idea of giving back will be sticking with these students long after the squash is eaten.
It's just so sad to see what America takes for granted today and what people would just love to have. So to know that that's going towards them and they can have a healthy meal and they can eat and it can benefit them, it's relatively like enjoyable.
It makes me feel really good because we have other people that care about the community and who want to help out.
This is just part of the overall project for the horticulture students. They're also building hoop houses, which are kind of like mini greenhouses. The hoop houses will protect plants from winter temperatures, stretching out the growing season so even more food can be grown and donated. Parents and educators at Philida Elementary come together to shape their students' education. The school's Learning Improvement Team is a coalition of moms, dads, teachers, and administrators. The goal is to discuss the year's curriculum and find ways to improve it. For teachers, it's a chance to hear directly from parents about what they think is important for students to be learning. For parents, the meetings give better insight into why certain elements of curriculum are prioritized.
I think it's a huge difference to be able to have some input in the education that your children are getting versus, if you were just to sit back and watch, what's going on.
Several Vancouver Public Schools have learning improvement teams. It's likely too late this year to join, but there are still plenty of ways you can take a more active role in your child's education, from volunteering to simply helping your child study. Just ask your student's teacher or school what you can do to get involved. Here's a great chance to see schools from the inside. November 16th is the next patron tour offered by Vancouver Public Schools. This free event lets community members tour Franklin and Eisenhower elementary schools and check out the Mandarin Chinese Immersion program, as well as the Challenge Honors program. Although tours are held throughout the year, this particular patron tour is part of the Focus on Education Week, a celebration of public education in Washington. To sign up, call the number on your screen, 313-4720, or go to our website, vansd.org. Drama students from Fort Vancouver High School and Hudson's Bay High School get an exciting opportunity, a chance to perform Shakespeare on a professional stage.
Frailty thy name is woman. Oh God, a beast that wants discourse of reason would have mourned longer.
We caught up to the thespians at Fort during rehearsals. They're performing Hamlet as part of the Fall Festival of Shakespeare. This event is sponsored by the Portland Playhouse. Fort and Bay joined 4 Portland schools who are all putting on 90-minute versions of a famous Shakespearean play. Each school is paired up with a professional who co-directs with the drama teacher.
I love working with the kids, directing. It's different every day, there's different energies, and depending on how many years you get to come back to the school, you get to see kids kind of go through different stages, different grades.
After a performance at school, the troops headed down to the Winningstad Theater in downtown Portland to perform in front of a different kind of audience than they're used to.
I rarely ever go to Portland, and being able to go see all those fancy lights, all different people, different updos, and seeing other schools perform, it's a lot of fun, and you don't feel like you're alone out there. There's other Shakespeare lovers, Shakespeare geeks.
Senior Alicia Doherty played Laertes, a man which she says is challenging. Bay's drama team performed the comedy The Taming of the Shrew. That just about does it for us. Remember, you can watch this and older episodes of In the Know on our YouTube channel. That's youtube.com/vansdtv. Thanks for watching In the Know. I'm Chad Young. See you next time.